Enhancing biodiversity on farms through regenerative practices is just one of the ways agriculture can have a positive impact across the globe. Cool Farm Tool equips farmers with metrics to quantify and inform farm management plans, empowering them to make improved decisions on farm.
Whether it's feeding pigs or attending to crops, a farm needs to consider its whole ecosystem from earth to table. Evidence shows healthy soils give us more nutritious food. Many farms are looking to the Cool Farm Tool to help nurture their land, protect climate and water resources, and increase biodiversity.
So we need our farm businesses to be resilient, we need the land to be resilient, economically, financially, environmentally at the same time, as well as socially. This tool enables farmers to be able to tick off some of the things, some of the challenges that they're facing. You just put in your data and it will give you a footprint. You don't have to do the calculations yourself. But once you've done that too, you can then toggle through it to see what a different activity will look like on your footprint. So you can start to see where you're performing. And it's not performing against a benchmark, it's looking at your own and having that year-on-year comparison and improvement. So we can really see if it's working or not. And that's the key part to it, is actually having that validation through numbers to say, look, I've done this and it's improved it by X, Y, or Z. The source of data at the moment depends on which pathway you're using. We use IPCC, which is the global one, as well as Greenhouse Gas Protocol, which is global, alongside Global Feed Index, etc. But also there's some people from universities all over the world that help demystify some of this science, because it's very complex, to be able to then translate that into a form that's usable for us at the farm level. So it depends on what type of...
Using quantified and credible metrics based on published data sets helps the tool provide a personalised, holistic view of the whole farm, empowering farmers to adopt regenerative practices, reduce carbon emissions and waste.
We are currently transitioning from conventional farming to regenerative farming, which is, the key driver of that is soil health. There's a number of pillars of regenerative farming. It's like incorporating animals into an arable rotation, maintaining a living root in the soil all the time, covering the soil, protecting the soil from the weather, reducing artificial and chemical inputs. Nowadays, there's all sorts of fantastic bits of kit that we can use to help us to baseline information, understand better what's going on in our soils and around us, and use that to sort of guide our management and practices. Some of these tools are helping us to sort of monitor emissions. So if we can understand our emissions that we're producing on farm, then we can change our practices to reduce them. Embracing technology in farming is actually absolutely key if we're going to move forward as an industry. So I think it'll benefit farmers all over the UK.
Regenerative farming isn't just a phase, it's paving the way for the future fertility of our land. Cool Farm Alliance brings together key stakeholders from across the supply chain to restore the diversity of the land and support farmers to make better choices to build soil health and resilience, whether that's for crops or livestock.
The Cool Farm Alliance is the mission's really about accelerating a transition to regenerative and sustainable agriculture through credible, globally aligned metrics, so that there's that standard quantification that can help inform decision making. And the Cool Farm tool itself is really about that quantification and the democratization of knowledge, so that the farmers have that information to be able to make those informed decisions themselves. We span the supply chain, so we've got multinationals and we've got NGOs, and one of the things we've created recently is a farm advisory board to help us bring the voice of farmers into the Alliance, so that they can air their grievances, they can share their opportunities and their best practices. It allows a channel of communication to take place. This is where global collaboration comes in, because there might be something that a farmer does in West Africa. Yes, it's from a West African context, but it might be so in tune with nature that it might be really applicable to be considering in the industrialized sort of farming systems. And there's things to learn from all sorts of places around the world. So we should be open to that.
The future of farming, and to keep billions fed, is to ensure the land is nurtured. Change can start on the farm, but its influence will impact us all.